I first met her in 2001 when she was my new boss as a member of the ruling council of ACAS.
I met her about 16 years ago for the first time when she was sitting opposite me in an employment tribunal.
I certainly did see her as a potential leader. It was also clear to me that she was determined to do her own thing, to make employment law the major branch of work that it became.
I'm a fellow employment lawyer, and actually I met her at a job interview. I was being interviewed by her, and she turned me down because she doubted whether I was committed to making the move at the time, and she was probably right. But years later I met her again, and this time we were working together on the formation of the Employment Lawyers Association.
One of her remarkable achievements has been in founding and leading groupings of employment lawyers. She was one of the co-founders of the Employment Lawyers Association in the UK in the early 1990s.
She's always been very active in the Employment Lawyers Association, and that's been an important body presenting the interests of the employment lawyers to the wider community and to government.
She then moved on to Europe and founded the European Employment Lawyers Association about 10 years ago and went on to be its first chairman.
She's been extremely active in that, but also extraordinarily, in my view, combining that with so many other activities, including finally becoming senior partner in a distinguished city firm. As a woman, that's really a mark of very great distinction.
In order to become senior partner of Simmons & Simmons, you need to win an election. And I was senior partner retiring, and I was very keen that she should be one of the candidates in the election. But on the day when the nominations closed, I hadn't heard from her. So I can now confess that I went into her office, pushed her aside from her computer, and typed an email to myself saying I wish to be a candidate for the to be senior partner of Simmons & Simmons. And I'm pleased to say she was elected.
She's extremely knowledgeable about employment law, and what is also immediately apparent is she is actually interested in it. It may sound surprising, not all solicitors are necessarily interested in the fields in which they operate.
Her great achievement was to see that employment law was a major branch of work in its own right. When I entered the law, master and servant was a few paragraphs in the contract law book. By the time she'd finished with it, it was a major department employing, 30, 40 people.
In the time that she was at ACAS, she did two really important things. One was to chair a group of lawyers, really, to reform or rewrite the Code of Discipline and Grievance, which is the Bible for employment law. The other thing that she did was to bring a sort of sense of big picture direction in terms of helping the organisation to get its guidance and information services sorted out and fit for purpose for the 21st century.
She put employment law on the map, and the Employment Lawyers Association itself is her legacy. It's a thriving organisation that now represents all employment lawyers.
She hugely deserves the award that she's going to get tonight.
Of all of the employment lawyers that I've met, I think she deserves this above them all for the sense of public duty and the commitment that she's given for the greater good.
I think tonight's honour is a very considerable achievement indeed. There can be no greater honour, it seems to me, than to be given this particular award by one's peers and chosen by one's peers. And I would say that I think it is absolutely fully deserved, and I can't say I'm particularly surprised.
I think she has been a role model for all women solicitors in the city. I think she's the foremost female solicitor of her generation, and she showed how a female solicitor can be a huge success in today's world.
You can't overestimate her contribution to employment law. I think she is unequalled in what she has given to the field.
Well done. Well done. That's what I'd say.